General Motors changed your life through education?
Yes. Well, what's really interesting, I come from a family of 7 brothers and sisters, and my mother and father were educated. My father had like a 5th grade education because he had to take care of his family because his father passed. And my mother ended up finally getting her GED because she left and got married to my father. But one of the important things that my father always said to me, he moved the family up north. Actually, most of my family is from Texas, and mi papá es mexicano. He was born in San Antonio, but raised in Mexico. He cuidó todos sus niños, y pues bueno, he wanted to come up north to have a better life for the family. And we moved to Michigan. I was the first one born in Michigan, and he got injured when we were growing up, and he became disabled. So it was really difficult for our family to even take care of ourselves. My mother kind of had to work as an assistant, a teacher's aide, and my brother had to go to work and try to support the family. So it was a lot of tough times, and my father always instilled in me the importance of getting a good education so that life would be easier. And
so your father was like your mentor?
Yeah, well, and there, yeah, he really, like, going through school, make sure you do your homework, mija. Es más importante nada de la escuela. Necesitas estudiar y trabajar, So he wanted a better life. I always did well in school, and I wanted to go to college, and I was offered a couple of scholarships, and it still just wasn't enough. So my brother said to me, well, Alma, why don't you consider going to General Motors Institute? And I said, well, I don't want to be an engineer. I said, that's not really, the kind of thing I want to do. He goes, well, they have one management degree, but it's like an engineering-based background. And so I went ahead and applied. Oldsmobile was my sponsor, and I went through school, and, because of General Motors, I started when I was 18 years old. And here I was a young Latina, and I didn't know anything about the corporate culture. I really didn't have a family or people in my life that could kind of introduce me to the corporate world. And
yeah, well, but how did that work? Because you were going to school, there was a program where you went to school 3 months, and then you worked for 3 months, so the whole program was 5 years.
Correct.
So the money that you made in working for the 3 months went to pay for the program. So it's not that it was free, but they supported you.
Absolutely. Without this program that was offered by General Motors and GMI Engineering Management Institute, I would not have been able to kind of get the experience as well as the education that has made me able to have the position that I am today. And what I can tell you is that it was kind of hard, but you got to step out there, especially as a young Latina or Latino. When you're with your family, you want to stay with your family. It's hard for you to kind of lift your roots. But what I can tell you that when you do that and you kind of go into different areas, because after I graduated, I worked in Lansing for 2 years, and then they moved me to California. I didn't know a soul in California. And I was scared, my mom and dad were crying, and it was just like this big scene in the house. But you got to persevere, and, and I did, and I reached out to the community. In fact, there's a lot of Hispanics in California, as you know, and I went out and met people and kind of built another family, and the General Motors family, because they were very embracing as far as the regional people, for a young Latina to come out. But I think you need to just realize that when you finally go through all this stuff, you come to a place where maybe you can kind of create your own destiny, but you kind of first have to kind of step out of your comfort zone a little bit. And that's some of the advice I give, because at the end of the day, people say, oh, I don't want to go somewhere where it's cold or where I'm away from my family, but sometimes in the long run, it benefits you in the end to do that, because now I'm based in Detroit, Michigan. I have a wonderful job with General Motors. I've had a wonderful experience meeting new people, and I'm close to my family, so it's beautiful.
And one of the things that I like to ask people for Mi Caminar is that now that you're in the corporate culture and you have that beautiful story, that background that's very much from the heart, so how would you define leadership, like true leadership? Could you share your words on that?
I think true leadership, and it's funny to me, I just was reading something the other day, is something called a servant leader.
A servant leader?
A servant leader, and it's a different dynamic, but the best thing I found is to lead is but try to help and develop the people that are behind you, or to give to the community, or to the people that work with and around you. You want to develop them to be leaders themselves, and the way you do that is by helping them to grow in mentoring. So what I could say is you need to reach out to people and help them with whatever they have. And then at the end of the day, they will want to help you. And, you know, everybody wins. So
and
I
then
think...
and then that way all the young people need to go find those mentors so that they can persevere and do the same thing that you do, right?
Exactly.
So it's like a circle.
Exactly, a circle. And I think everybody learns from everyone else. You know, everyone always has something else to offer. It makes you a better person and a better leader, to understand different cultures, to understand different people. One of the things that I love to do in my personal time is travel outside of the United States, because you look at, I went to India, I went to China, and I've gone to different areas around the world, and you understand people more by visiting the way they live and understanding their culture more. And so I think that's one of the other important things that you can do as a leader, is to understand how people are and why they are the way they are. So
that's very inspiring. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Blanca.
And it was so great to meet you. And I love your story, so hopefully everyone can be inspired and keep persevering.
Thank you.